grain of salt. And I
Nah,
get it.
dude, I just want you to fucking be able to prove this shit to people other than me. Like, niggas will check your fucking, will pull your car, dog. You gotta be ready for that type of shit.
Yeah, they will.
I'm not gonna talk to just
Because
anybody
otherwise you
about
look
this
stupid,
shit.
and I don't want you to look dumb.
No,
I wanna
I'm not,
know
I don't talk to just
if you
anybody.
know about it.
I will experiment the conversation with you before I would anybody else. But still, I've watched a lot of shit.
All right, so why don't you believe in ghosts?
Because he doesn't believe in afterlife.
I don't believe in anything other than that we're nothing. I think when you're born, you're nobody. You're nothing until the only thing that makes you who you are as an individual is your experiences and the synapse fires and the chemicals in your brain. That's the only thing that makes you different than anybody else is what you've
What
gone
is
through in your
reality?
life. Well, it's been proven though, like sort of, like with
What is
twins
reality?
and stuff. Reality? Reality is a combination of our brain.
Perception.
We are a brain inside of a dark fucking inside of a head, a darkness inside of a fucking skin bag.
Right, but what
We don't.
What
If
gives
you
us the
if you
ability
didn't have
to
eyes,
ask why and think of this kind of type of shit?
a central cortex.
Hey, bro, seriously
Right,
though,
but
like,
You
hold
know-
on, legitimately.
So what is the soul, though? You know what I'm saying?
There is no soul. That's the sad part. I really wish
That's
there
fake.
was. I really wish there was a soul. Don't you think I would
You're-
like to fucking live forever in
I would never want to live forever, dude.
I do.
Well, that's the thing that's the thing. That's the whole thing Christianity is based on is you dying and living forever in the grace of God. I think that we are a bunch of just like an anthill almost. We're a bunch of a bunch of cells all packed into one who have a general consciousness.
But how did we get here, though?
Evolution, man. Just like everything.
But no, to the point, like, where did we all come from?
Bro.
How did we just suddenly exist, and for what
Bro,
reason?
you're
We
asking
didn't
a question.
suddenly exist, Clayton. That's the wrong question to ask. We didn't suddenly exist. They
What do you mean?
they have found
So we've
things.
always been.
They have found bones, human bones and femurs that predate the fucking Jurassic period. We've been here
Okay.
for a long fucking time.
No, dude, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
We didn't just
the
happen.
first cell. How did the first cell happen? How did life happen? What had to happen for life to happen?
Well, there's always there's a debate on that, and I'm not a fucking scientist, so.
You want the answer?
But no, hold on.
Well, how can you make
Let
a
me finish.
stance?
The only problem is that a single-celled organism, in my head, a single-celled organism, they talk about it being created in the water, and we all came from fish and vertebrates and all that different shit. But the only problem I got is a single-celled organism could not survive long enough
No.
on its own. Some of them.
Or
There's some that could
make the jump like that.
But you have to have a flagellum or whatever it's called. The fucking tail. The tail created movement. Once the fucking cell could move, then it could detect light and darkness. Then it started learning how to detect light from darkness. And then it started figuring out how to make eyes and how to, this and that. So the jump from a single cell to a multi-celled organism with a tail is the one part that is flawed.
Right.
But I think
all I'm saying is I sure hate to be wrong, Jake.
Well, the thing is,
we got nothing to lose, bro.
but the thing is, if I think one way, but I live my life just like anybody else. If I was to think one way and live my life just like any sinner or any religious saint, what difference does that hold? Who's sitting up there watching? There's nobody watching, man. Like there's no grand fucking fucking telescope that can see everything that goes on and keep count of everything. I grew up in church, man. You know this. I learned all that shit. I know a lot of the Bible. And what I get to is every time I ask questions, it's all about faith. So
Nope.
there you go. If you got faith, you got faith.
Bro, you
That's
shouldn't
it.
have asking me, bro. I eat that Bible shit up. I got answers for you, bro. Ask. I don't seem like it. If I say goddamn motherfucker and I cuss people out and get pissed off all the time, yeah.
No, there was beings on this earth before there was humans.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone says that God created the heavens and the earth in 7 days. Okay, well, it specifically says in the Bible that 7 days here is not 7 days there. It's 1,000 lifetimes in 1 day.
Well, how can you explain how what's his name, Noah and all those people back then used to live 500, 600, 700 years?
What's up, dickheads?
God willed it.
For so long.
Well, that's not an
My
answer.
family came home.
It's not actually a common misconception too. They didn't live for that long.
Yeah, they straight up. I mean, they didn't have a calendar back then, so I mean,
They didn't live that long,
how do
honestly.
they know? And
They probably lived way less than they do now. Obviously.
and you know, a year back then is not a year now. I do get that. You know, back in
we're
the,
based on their Gregorian calendar.
well, when they made that
That's not what
calendar,
they had.
when they made that calendar, they added 2 months. It didn't use October. It used to go October, November, December. August and September were Augustus.
Augustus,
and,
yeah.
Somebody else. I can't remember. They were
Caesar
added.
of Augustus and shit.
Yeah, those 2 months were added when we did our own
Sure.
calendar, like later on. So it used to be a 10-month year, which makes sense. Kind of like fucking
So that answers your
metric
question.
system.
It could absolutely.
Yeah, but
be
it was a
misconstrued.
10-month year that had longer months.
Maybe. Yeah.
Well, the point
it was
is,
still it was still 365 days in a year.
that's okay. Well, anyway, the
And-
point
and-
is,
in
it
the
can be
event
It's all
misconstrued
based
with
off,
their
it's
time
all
frames
based off of
on
lunar,
what we
off
understand.
the moon.
Well, I mean,
Well,
the whole concept behind them living 700 years is irrelevant to the point that they actually found the Ark. They actually
say
found.
they did.
No, that there's
Up in the
pictures.
mountains of I can't remember.
Fuck,
where.
I think it's
up
Turkey.
Up in
Iraq
Russia
or
or
something.
some shit.
Yeah, that's it. Well, Turkey borders Russia, so
I think it's Turkey, if I'm not mistaken. I think
Pretty
it's
sure
they
it
haven't been able to excavate because they're constantly at fucking war with each other.
yep. Turkey's an evil fucking place.
But beyond the point, they found the Ark. They found plenty of religious artifacts, and according to the Bible, when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, it was matched word for word to the
Yeah,
Bible.
but did you also hear about in the Dead Sea Scrolls? They found another book that was not they found 2 books actually that weren't in the Bible.
We play Star
Oh no,
Trek
there's
again.
7. There's 7 books at the
Oh yeah, no,
at
the book
Vatican.
of Enoch. The book
There
of
was
Enoch.
5 then, and
fucking-
then now there's 7 or whatever. But they found
Yeah.
2 more when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls. 2 books that nobody knew existed.
They don't know about the Book of Mary, the Book of Enoch. That's the
took
2
the
most
book-
famous ones.
They took the book of Enoch out because it didn't agree with the priests and shit. It didn't agree
Exactly.
with what they wanted.
The
Book
but
of
that was
Enoch
the
Talks about an alien abduction.
it talks about a bright light coming from the sky and blasting fire and
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no, the chariots in this, that was in the Hebrew version of the Old Testament, where they were talking about chariots in the sky, winged chariots in the sky that sounded like thunder, and you know you're talking about like a combustion engine basically, but I mean not like a combustion engine, but like some kind of engine, you know, in the sky, like making all kinds of racket.
Well, there's no proof to that claim though. You can only go by what was written down, man.
Exactly.
That's
It's-
speculation.
Well,
Otherwise,
as far
you
as
can go
you
off of.
speculate that there is, I speculate that there ain't. I mean, how?
I can see exactly where you're coming from, bro. Exactly. Now that's where they always come down to it. It comes down to faith. Well, I mean, honestly, you have faith in science just as much as anyone has faith in religion because you can't
Yeah,
tell
it's
me
the
where an
same
atom
shit.
came from.
No,
Right.
you can't.
I
but-
can't tell you where
no,
God
you
came
can't.
from, and you can't tell me how atoms collided to create some bullshit. You know what I mean? It's the same concept.
Yeah,
No.
it is. And you have
No,
faith
it
that
is.
the Big Bang happened, and that's how
I don't have
all
faith
this became.
that anything happened. I don't have faith.
Well,
that
that's
the
what
Big Bang
that is.
happened.
When you believe
Here's my
something
look.
that doesn't
I
have
don't believe
empirical
that the Big
evidence, that's
Bang
faith.
happened. I don't know.
Here's
for
my
sure.
Well, I'm
look
just
on it,
saying.
man.
I'm not saying you are.
All I'm
that's
saying
the
is I
general
don't know.
Big Bang.
You're saying that you do
That's
know.
agnostic.
You're
that's
saying
I'm not
exactly
that.
right,
attacking
Jake.
you.
We don't
That's
know.
agnostic.
No, no,
bro.
no, no.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
There's a
We
lot of
don't know.
agnostics, bro. We don't
So,
know.
I mean,
That's
here's
a
how I
fact.
look at it. I think that science and religion are the same thing. One's just too young to understand the other.
Yeah. Do
Yes.
you know how? Do
That's
you know
my-
how
that's
a good way
hard?
of
Do you know how
putting it too, John.
hardcore I
That's
fucking? You know how hardcore I wish that I could fucking die
Start this
and
goddamn
then
game.
start
dude.
the fuck over, up in fucking heaven. You know how cool that would be to be hanging out with your damn relatives and your past
Well, that-
lineages
yeah.
and all kinds of shit. It's
course.
not, but it's not real. It's a
There's
a
no
Okay,
way
think
for
of it
you
like
to know
this. Hold
until
on,
it
hold on.
happens, bro.
I'm gonna test your theory on that science-wise. Okay, your body's made of electro-organisms, right? You have electricity that goes through your body. It produces all kinds of protein and all kinds of shit,
we
right?
we produce a certain voltage, and it goes through the synapses and the path that it takes. And,
Okay.
and- yes.
Do you believe that when you die, that energy can disperse?
Yes.
Okay,
More-
so when your
more
energy
like Buddha,
disperses,
so-
could it not be your consciousness in your perception of heaven? Because the only thing reality is perception. I see the color red. It might be the color blue
It
to you,
might
but you
not
know
be.
it.
No,
you.
no.
Exactly.
Consciousness is all your perceptions, all your synapses put together in a cortex.
My point is,
When they
his
spread
point
out
is
and
you can't all
disperse, you
have the
have
same-
you have nothing. When you don't have eyeballs, when you're a soul and you're a floating thing of electricity or whatever you want to call it, you don't have eyeballs. You don't have any perception of sight. You don't have
So
ears.
tell me this,
you don't
Jacob,
have
what
any
do blind
perception
people
of sound.
dream of that were born blind? You know
That's
they
something
dream
you
and
should
see
ask a
shit.
blind person, man. I
Well,
don't
they see shit, dog. I'm
No,
just
I
telling
don't
you, man,
fucking
just-
know.
Perception is reality, man. They do. They tell you what it is. I'm just saying, just because you don't perceive it, because you're not looking through their view, you don't know what their reality is.
I mean, there's 100 ways to look at it, bro, on a realistic level. But I honestly think
That's
that
the
they're
point that
the
John, I
exact
think, was
same
trying to
fucking
make.
thing. Yeah, they're the exact same fucking thing,
Well,
except
if they're
one
the
is
exact-
faith of a religion, and the other one's faith of proving the religion.
Well, if they're the exact same thing, then you have to prove a whole lot more other shit then, because the whole afterlife thing counteracts everything about science.
But it's inherently gonna
Well,
be
no,
that way
because
because
When
not
you-
necessarily.
nobody's ever come back from death. Like
Yes,
true
there has.
death.
Yeah,
True
one.
death. Well, of course, one person.
Yes,
beyond him.
but those people don't have any credibility, because when you are at that point, when you're dying, your brain releases so much DMT into your system, and
Sure.
you literally
I'm talking about
hallucinate.
people that have been dead, all the way dead as fuck, come back.
Well,
One
those are crazy stories, man. You know.
Well, no, I'm not. I know what you're talking about. I'm not talking about those people because those people don't have full
Out of
brain
body
death.
experiences and different
Right.
things.
No,
That's
I ain't talking about that. I'm just saying you're not gonna know. It's inherently not.
That's why
gonna
they
let
call
you
it
know.
faith.
That's
But-
what faith is.
but my
You're
thing
not gonna
is-
know
my
because
thing is-
nobody has experienced that and come back to be able to.
If
tell
I
Okay, here you go.
haven't-
Hold on.
If I haven't killed anybody, I mean, what is the fucking where is the karma? Where is the fucking scale?
Why
you know what I
do
mean?
you use karma? That's
Hold
a
on.
religious
Okay, hold on.
term.
Okay, take the fucking karma out of the equation. Who fucking
go ahead.
weighs the scale? Who weighs me? You know what I mean? That's
do.
my thing. Exactly. I weigh me and where I
Yes.
stand in the world. Not anybody.
Yes.
There's not some overseer. There's not, and I hate to say that, but
Well, I
it's
mean,
not.
you can
There's-
have that. You can still have that, and it's still be in control of your own body. That's why God gave you free
So
will. Now,
when
this
you
is speaking
die-
from a religious perspective. But when you die, the only thing, and I don't care what you believe, the only thing that gets you into heaven, according to that Bible right there, is the faith in Jesus Christ. The rest of the Bible is crap. It's just how you should live your life.
Right.
You know, the only thing that gets you into heaven is faith in God or faith in Jesus.
What
right.
is?
Because He's the one who
what is
dissolves all your sins.
heaven?
That's all you gotta
What
do, man.
is heaven?
That's it.
Who? Where is heaven? What is heaven?
Heaven
That
is heaven, and here's where the science comes in. 'Cause that's a
Heaven is in
damn
the
good
mind.
question. If you read the Bible, it says heaven is what you want it to be. It's everything you want it to be. It says gold, brick roads, all this kind of bullshit. No, it even says in Revelations that heaven is what you want it to be. So it is your perspective of heaven that you'll have when you die.
Okay.
Which is why I say, from a science standpoint, science is too young to understand it, because I believe that when your energy does disperse, your consciousness is still together, and you are experiencing heaven in your own way. That
All
is
right.
the afterlife.
Well, honestly, I think
Absolutely.
that we might experience something like heaven for a time period, but
Sure.
it's gone. You actually have you ever gone to sleep and
Yes.
it's like 8 o'clock when you go to sleep and you feel like it's been all night. You feel like it's been 6 to 8 hours, but you wake up and it's fucking 10 o'clock. You ain't been asleep but 2 hours, and you feel like you've been asleep all night long. You've been dreaming. You literally had 8 hours worth of a dream. You've been in another fucking world for so fucking long, but it's only been 2 hours. That's what I feel. I feel like your brain can trick you into thinking once you die, with all the chemicals that are being released and all the endorphins and this crazy ass shit that's going on, your heaven could feel like it lasts for days. But you literally were dying for like 15 minutes. And then you're dead. And then your heaven, this thing that everybody comes back and says, I went to heaven and I seen him and it's real. But it was real because your heaven, you felt like it lasted forever, but in reality, you were asleep. You were dying for like 12 minutes, and you open your eyes back up because we fucking stuck you full of adrenaline and all kinds of other shit, and we fucking woke your ass back up. I mean, I'm just saying, your brain is so powerful, dude. Like, it can literally change reality. And can
Sure.
trick you into
That's how
thinking.
you can have hallucinations.
Yeah, but nobody's ever been like, I spent fucking 2 years in heaven. No, I mean it's there is no perception of
Well,
time.
I'm sure, because if you were flatlined for 2 years, you're not coming back at all.
That's
So
what I'm saying. You could have been
the difference
flatlined for
is these
10 minutes and thought it was 2 years. That's what
Well,
I'm
I mean,
saying.
I see what you're saying,
As
Jake.
we're
I
saying,
absolutely
as we're saying, time is totally in
irrelevant.
the eyes of the beholder. Like, it's in the essence of everything. Time
Well,
is totally based on what you perceive.
I'm a little controversial when it comes to the religious science aspect of everything. The argument there, I mean, you're making one, and then there's the religious one, and I understand both sides of it. I actually kind of meet in the middle when you think logically about the shit. You're telling me God created all this shit. If you believe in God, you created all this shit, and we're the only planet with life on it? You gotta be fucking kidding me. First of all.
Yeah. No,
So, yeah,
definitely.
I believe in aliens. I believe in ghosts because my mom's house is haunted, and I've seen my fucking share.
I have seen it at Taylor's house.
Okay,
So-
all right. So if you believe in ghosts, what's your definition of what that is? What is that you're seeing? Because a lot
That
of people have
It
different.
depends on how far you want to go into it. Some
Could
people
be
believe that.
purgatory.
Some people believe that it's purgatory. Some people believe that it's a memory. Some people believe that it's an essence that was left behind, an energy left behind on objects. I mean, you see these cases of exorcisms and shit like that are 100 fucking %. No way in hell is this shit fake. Some of them are bullshit, yes, but if you look up the exorcism of Emily Rose and you see this girl who just magically learns 2 different languages in different voices coming out of her with 6 demons inside of her,
Fucking
bro, how are you
old-ass
faking
Latin
that shit?
bro?
Yeah,
Hanging on the ceiling upside down? I'm sorry, I'm not buying it.
What I think is more crazy than that, because I feel like all that can be fabricated, is the have you seen those stories with those kids? Like this family had twin daughters, right? And they died in a car wreck. And then they fucking got pregnant again less than a year or two later. And they had another set of twins. And the set of twins, the new ones, had
like the old ones.
no,
bro.
they talked. They went to this. They went to a park, and they had been there before, and they knew things. They knew all this stuff that the other two had known. Like they knew where locations of. They let them drive them to places. They told them where to go. Like these girls were literally a reincarnation of the
Okay,
two.
well, I'm gonna say this, Jake, because it's probably gonna go kind of your way with this. But there has been proof that you can have ancestral memories, as far as like really suppressed memories from your particular bloodline.
And you
I've
know
read that
why?
somewhere.
You know why? Because
No, I
your
don't know why.
your
I just know
memories,
that's a thing.
memories are nothing but a certain amount of a chemical that was put in your brain when that thing happened. Like when that thing happened, whatever your brain did, it released whatever that little increment, that fucking combination of chemicals through the synapses in your brain literally is the memory. It's a feeling. It's when you remember something, you feel it and you see it because you perceived it with your eyes, and so you try to recollect, but it's never right. Every time you try to remember something with and try to see it, it's never fucking right hardly, unless it was like really recent,
You gotta have a good
you know.
memory.
But it's the feeling that you get, dude. It's that fucking emotion. It's those chemicals inside your brain that are released, and we're talking about proteins and enzymes and fucking and different acids and different all this shit that your brain does fucking crazy as shit, dude.
It definitely does some crazy shit.
Hey, you really want to fuck yourself up? Look at the videos of NASA being faked.
Oh, I have.
Oh,
Some of that shit is fucking hilarious, bro. Like you could tell they're faking some shit.